Happy Thumbs Gaming. Booyakashaw.
Hey everybody, it's Brian with Happy Thumbs Gaming. Today we're checking out Level 5, a Rebooted Resuited free play for LEGO Marvel Superheroes. As you can see down in the bottom left, we have the character suggestions where all the characters we used. We get the True Believer status, which is 145,000 studs. We get all 10 Minikits, and we get the Stan Lee and Peril, or as we like to say, freely, freely. Alright, so here we are on the map. We are starting off right at the beginning. We're going to choose Rebooted and Resuited, which is the arc reactor icon. Just a quick little fun fact for you there, as you can see me scrolling left and right. If you can't find, or are just lazy and don't want to find, the mission in particular you're looking for, you can select any of them and then choose left and right to scroll through them. Something I didn't even know until I made this video. So, here we are. And we're going to go ahead and start off as Captain America. Use our trusty shield to fire up that little room there. Once the doors open, we're going to go in and bust every single item up. This will then give us access to some bouncing bricks that we will build into a control panel. And at that point, oh, true believer. Look at that, didn't take us long to get that, did it? And so bust it all up. We'll use the control panel to flip the switch, which will kind of shut down the power to these force fields that are protecting us from moving down this corridor to our first minikit. Speaking of minikits, if you guys are looking to get just the collectibles, then we advise you to look down in the video description for our fast forward timeline links. These links will help you get to all the collectibles a lot faster, and you won't have to watch the whole video in order to find them. So we do have one that's actually a two-parter in this video. It's the first time for the Marvel series. Any of you guys who have followed our previous series have most likely seen a two- or three-parter along there, but it helps make everything easier for you but us as well. So we'll move along, and essentially once we get all the way to the end of this right corridor, we're going to get to our first mini kit. But we are going to take out the silver item up top and then use Mr. Captain America's shield again to go ahead and power up the second little area here. And that, I don't remember exactly what that does. It does something for us. But it doesn't really play too much of a factor for us, at least we don't think. We are going to use Captain America's shield to go ahead and reflect that laser beam and take him out, which then provides some bouncing bricks that we will use to build a control panel here in a minute. But we got to use Spidey, the webbed wonder, to go ahead and break these two cabinets over here. And then we'll switch to somebody with telekinesis power, someone such as Jean Grey. And we'll use that telekinetic awesomeness to go ahead and pull these drawers out and smash away. Smash, smash. Oh, yeah.
You should be able to move certain objects with your powers.
Booyakashow. Once that happens, you got some bricks that you can build up. Use any character and build those up, and it'll give you a transformer power station. We'll go ahead and use Storm. There are a couple of characters you can use, Dr. Doom, as well as Thor. I'm sure there's another one or two that you've maybe created or have on your list. And we'll go ahead and use Storm because you should have her from completing the story mode, which we always recommend you do before playing the free play. And once you charge that bad boy up, it gives these robotic arms power and builds up a nice little mini kit, which happens to be the first one. Boy, that was kind of a lot of work for a mini kit, eh? Alright, now we'll work our way back, and you can see we're looking in these garage doors here, and eventually we're going to go in the doors of that second one right there. But we need to get into that one with the steel doors right there. So we're running around kind of thinking, well, what do we do here? How do we do this? We start building this control panel, and then we realize, wait a minute, there's a dude right there with a question mark. So go back to Jean Grey and use our mind control, and we'll use him to flip the switch. Flip it, buddy. And it opens the garage right next to us. We can see a couple of things. We got some telekinetic items right up front, which I should have just used Jean Grey right there and put those wheels on. But I saw that blue magnetic object in the back, and I got overzealous and switched to Magneto, which, unfortunately, we're not ready for that yet. You have to put the wheels on the car before you can go, vroom vroom with the engine. So we'll switch back to Iron Man here in a second. And now we'll switch over from Iron Man to Jean Grey. Now we've got the powers needed to go ahead and place the wheels on there. One more. Okay. And now back to Magneto, put the engine in its place, and then drive this bad boy like you stole it. There is a little bit of a stud trail that it provides. Go ahead and follow that and smash into the wall at the end, and booyakashow. Mini kit number 2. It's a pretty sweet hot rod. I won't lie. I'd roll it all over the place. Top down and all, even in Oregon. Alright, so here we go. We're going to build up the rest of this. For those of you who don't know what Oregon is, that's a state in the United States. I know some of you are like, well, how would we not know? We live here. Well, not everybody that watches this is from the United States. And we appreciate all of you out-of-staters that watch. Okay, so now we'll use this, I don't know what that is. Some sort of, it looks like a RC car of some awesome sort, but it flies, so that's even better. Switch on over to Tony Stark. You'll switch into the Mark I suit, which is really pointless for us because we already had it. But it is required in order to queue Arch Killian here in a second. Aldrich. Lamarcus Aldrich Killian. And, yeah. Bunch of guys come out. Once you take out all these baddies, you're going to make your way into the door that he opened for us. And there's 2 spots, 1 for each character. Jump on each, and we'll move on in. We did skip the cutscenes, and we do have this sped up if you haven't figured that out already. And we got a couple of baddies charging in on us, but most importantly, we got a freely. So you might not see him right off the bat. It stands right in the bottom left side of your corner. And there's a little sandbox right here that we can see. We're going to switch on over to Sandman, or somebody with some sand-like powers. And we're going to jump on in there and create a trampoline out of the sand. So, a sandpoline. Look at that. Booyakashow. Save the man, even though he looks like to have a little bit of a back issue there. Can't imagine a sandpoline was very forgiving jumping down, but hey, it worked. Did the job. Now we're going to move around, watch this. Smash, smash. Hadn't really used Sandman in any of our videos, or at all for that matter, and was unaware that he had big sand hammers that came out and smashed. It's pretty cool stuff. So we flip a switch, which then gives us access to the control panel. We're going to need Tony Stark or Iron Man, whichever one you nestle. And we'll switch that, and basically as soon as you pull the switch, it gives us the option to spam square or the action button, which could be, well, I suppose, X for you. Or if you're on the PC, something else. And go ahead and use that button, and it'll bring your character around. Well, in the story mode, we actually are Captain America instead of Jean Grey. And Captain America knows what to do with that fire, but Jean's a little confused. So we'll switch to Captain America and smash that computer, which then drops the security system, allowing our guy who was already past it access by it. And now we're getting into the area where we got a couple guys here that are going to attack us, but we're going to start the first. It's part 1 of Minikit 6. Now you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute, where's Minikit 3 at? Well, we'll get to Minikit 3. We're not going to count these holograms until we have all 5 of them. So the first one of the 5 holograms is right here. And if that's all you need is the holograms, then look down in the description for Minikit number 6, part 1 and part 2, and click those links, and it'll take you right to the areas where those holograms are. We try to keep those all in one spot so that you can just click it and watch it and go, but it doesn't always work out that way. These were pretty scattered, and it wouldn't have made sense for us to go all the way to the end of the level and then come all the way back and then do them all the way to the end of the level again. So we ended up just grabbing them in 2 parts, which shouldn't be too confusing. But for some reason, we have a hard time flying and landing on objects that are switches. So we switched over to Spidey to jump up and grab that. If you haven't noticed, too, there is a Minikit right outside the window, right in that evil Jarvis's forehead. And you can jump up there and grab that now, or we come back in a minute when we come back for it. And you're probably familiar with this, and maybe remember this from the story mode here, but we need to blow up the 2 halves of this silver coin, or whatever this is. And they will then drop pieces and fill the fan below, allowing us access to and from this area. Alright, so now we're in over here. We're going to see a short little sequence here that shows us that we need to push that lever back because they turned the power on. We don't want no power. And then look at that. They're all trying to dogpile on the rabbit. Dogpile on the rabbit. No way, buddy. Get out of here. Take all these bad guys out. We'll move over to the far right. Now there is a little area we have to destroy some silver items on here. You can see the little latches. Destroy those, and it'll give us access to this little room here with the acrobatic wall. We have a flying character at this point, so we can fly up, but for some reason we can't fly in a door. It's a no-door fly zone or something, I don't know. And so make your way in there. You can see there's a couple of items, but we're only going to focus on the hologram right now. We're still on Minikit 6 Part 1, and we're going to go and get the last one of this area before we get out of Part 1. So there is the first 3 holograms, and if you need to go back, just look down below, click the Minikit 6 Part 1 button, and it'll take you right back to the beginning one. If you want the other ones, go ahead and click Part 2, and it'll take you to that. Woohoo! But we are going to double back now and come out and get this angry Jarvis Minikit. Maybe that'll relieve some pain for him. No, he looks still pretty angry, so. Look at him following us, too. Stop looking at us, Jarvis. Stalker much? Alright. Alright, so we'll jump back up and make it over. Now we've got 2 items, and you guys probably are familiar with this. We just did this a minute ago. Use Spidey to go ahead and pull the 2 grapple hooks, and then switch over to Jean Grey or someone with telekinesis to break open these boxes. Lift them up and get your smash on. And once all of the boxes are destroyed, then you have some pieces to build up. Go ahead and build up this jukebox. I gotta be honest, I did this whole video. I cut the audio for this entire video, and my mute button was on my mic, which was not very pleasing at the end. But I was singing. I had a whole song going here, and you know, I got so frustrated. I don't even remember what it was. It made sense, and it was awesome. And it sucks that I didn't get to. But even Jean Grey was dancing. We were rocking out. Stupid mute button. Stupid mute button. Anyways, yeah, so now that we got that mini kit, the jukebox is still a rockin'. Switch on over to Hulk, rip open this door here, and now we can go ahead and slide on in and grab the mini kit. There's also a little moped there. We'll go ahead and drive that bad boy. Boom. All right, not a lot of room to drive it, and we don't know how to drive it anyway, so it doesn't matter. We'll go ahead and flip this switch back and, you know, take what was rightfully once ours back, which is the access up above, but yeah, we don't quite have it yet. So got to switch on over to Mr. Iron Man to destroy the bottom of this base. And once you do that, it'll provide some laser beams. And they actually make a VW symbol once we get Captain America involved. I'll show you right here. A little fun fact for you, too. If you didn't know this, see, look, VW symbol, woohoo! It's kind of an awkward one now. It's leaning to the left like a big shot. Now it's going to lean to the right. Oh, if you pause it right in the middle there, it's VW. But fun fact, NAW is just representing my love for Volkswagens, the VWs. And so I've only owned Volkswagens. I've never, well, I take that back. My first car was given to me. It was a 1978 Buick Electra 325. It was more commonly known as the Who Ride. We could fit 11 people in it, and it was just the biggest boat you ever done seen. My first car I purchased was a Volkswagen Fox, then a Volkswagen Jetta, then a Volkswagen Rabbit, then a Volkswagen Jetta, and now I own a GTI, and I still own my Rabbit, and I still own one of the Jarvis. So I am in a dub. And speaking of which, we are in the hallway with the 4th hologram here for our Minikit Part 6, or Minikit 6 Part 2. And at the end of the hallway, we're going to build the 2 switches up here. 1 character per side required. Jump up and get your hang on. Now keep in mind, this video is sped up too. Watch how long I hang out over here with Captain America. That's a long time. Right off the bat, once you get inside, you can see the final hologram off to the far right side. It's pretty hard to access from the very front, so move over to the right-hand side and melt that bad boy down. Collect your reward, which is the Minikit. Takes us a minute to fight off the bad guys, but we sneak in there and booyakashow. Minikit 6 Part 2 now completed. Now we're back on track, and the next one will be number 7. And we'll go ahead and destroy a couple of things here. We did have a little cutscene we removed right there. Use Captain America's shield to fulfill the holes in the wall, which then give us access to go run up front and ricochet this. You might be able to charge this up with somebody else. I don't know. I haven't tried it or nothing, but use Captain America if all else fails, and it'll go from red to blue, which is a little suspect if you ask me. It's kind of an odd color choice from angry to happy. I would have gone like red and green myself. Little poor representation if you ask me. Now we'll go ahead, and we already have the Mark 42 suits. We don't need to worry about transferring. Fly up the little hallway there, pathway, the elevator shaft, whatever. Shaft. And we'll go ahead and move over to the far right-hand side and switch to Iceman. It's time to get some Top Gunnage in. And now, once we take out all the bad guys, there's some water floating around. We'll go ahead and use Iceman to build that water up, and it reveals Minikit number 7. Then we're going to take Iron Man or anybody that flies and fly off to the far left side of the tower here. More than likely, you saw this guy in story mode and probably snagged it, but we're going to grab number 8 anyways. And then right in between number 8 and number 7, there is a door with a bell above it. So we're going to switch to somebody with telekinesis like Jean Grey. And we're going to ring that bell. Ring that bell. Oh, look at that. Woohoo, I'm coming. I hear you. See that one hightailing it over there? Once the door gets opened by your buddy there, go ahead and slide in there, grab it. Now the last mini kit is the 3 spotlights up top here. We're going to need, you know, Magneto or somebody with magnetic powers in order to pull those apart, but we can't get up there just quite yet. We have to defeat old Trevor, a.k.a. Mandarin, before we can get up there. And we actually don't defeat him. We defeat Aldrich Killian before we get up there. Mandarin gets all scared and goes and runs up and gets in a Hulkbuster suit. So once you get to that point where the Hulkbuster suit little sequence happens, then that gives us access to fly up top. You can then switch to Magneto. Now, a fun little fact, you might be wondering why I referred to Mandarin as Trevor. Well, that's actually his alias when he's not running around being a villain. And another little fun fact for you here. In the helicarrier, there is a spot. And we will have a video for it showing you if we don't already. And basically, you're going to run all the way to the bottom. You're going to go downstairs and run all the way to the back left, go past the Deadpool room, go all the way back, past the detention center, all the way into that far, like, I think it's called the, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a wing room or something. And off to the left-hand side, there's a guy up on a staircase. And on the right-hand side, there is another room. You can actually go in there. It's called like the med room, medical lab or something like that. You can go in there and you can create a character. If you create a character named Trevor, you actually get another trophy. So it's a little homage to some of the earlier fun facts of Marvel. Bet you didn't know that. And yeah, so now we're up at Magneto. We got the Hulkbuster down below, so we flew up and we destroyed the first one. We're gonna move over to the second one. And oddly enough, I couldn't make it up to the top without switching characters, and I have a brain fart here you guys will get a kick out of. So I can't make it up with Magneto. I get rushed up here, and I'm kind of having trouble, so I just switch to the other character, which happens to be Jean Grey. They all run up and try to gang rush her. And we switch to Iron Man and fly up top. And then what do? We switch right back to Jean Grey, which is not what we needed to do. We need to switch to Magneto. So my son was sitting here going, "What are you doing, Dad? That's the wrong one." I was like, "Oh, yeah." So I go ahead and switch that over. Boom. Third and final spotlight is now removed, and the 10th Minikit is now ours. So if you're here for collectibles, we got Stan Lee, and we got all 10 of the Minikits. So you are officially done for level 5, which actually puts you a third of the way done with all of the Minikits, at least. I mean, I'm assuming you got a couple of them in story mode when you were playing through, but hey, maybe you're like us and you want to save them all for free play, just to make it easy and make sure your numbers match. Sure makes things easier for you guys to watch, I'm sure, and if you guys are following right along with 0 Minikits when you start the level, I mean, you can't go wrong, right? Alright, so after making it clap a few times with Hulk, you can take out all the bad guys. You will get bum rushed continuously, actually, and then at some point here, Jarvis calls in, what do they call it, like house party protocol or something like that, and a bunch of your Iron Man likeness buddies come running in and start blasting away, and we basically just totally dogpile on the robot. And once we get him down to a sufficient level, he starts taking out all of our help, and then it just remains us and him. And we'll use our meat gaze ray, or the heat ray, to go ahead and finish him off, and then that'll take us into a cutscene, which we actually deleted, and which really takes us to the total screen. So we're pretty much done. If you guys are looking for the next video, it'll be out shortly, if it's not already. I don't know when you're following along. Some of you guys don't even have access to this game as of this recording, so it's kind of a bummer deal. Should have been a worldwide release. Alright, you guys should know how to beat this, but essentially if you don't, there's a bunch of bricks that come tumbling down. Build those up into what seems to be some sort of an EMP, or electromagnetic pulse device. It then shocks the Hulkbuster suit and drops him down, and then you got to use the heat ray, which, look, I'm too far away, and then I get too close. That's way too close and personal. And we'll get off the proper amount and into the total screen. Rebooted, resuited, free play. Level is now complete. We definitely got the true believer status, and we're stacking up some major chips there. We're just over 1/10 of the way to the billionaire philanthropist trophy/achievement. You can see here we obviously blew that out of the water as far as how many studs we have. We did get all 10 Minikits, so we'll go ahead and label up another comic book. Look at how long that was. This is majorly sped up. I thought it was going to freeze on me, or my son was like, "Wait, you didn't get all 10?" Even though he watched me get all 10. So that was a weird moment.
I did it. I made
Freely. Oh, yeah, we did. All right, so a couple more bricks to the pile. We're getting a nice little chunk going there. But that'll wrap up Lego Marvel Superheroes Level 5 Rebooted, Resuited, Free Play. Hopefully you found it entertaining and helpful. If you did, maybe pop on over to our Facebook page and tell us about it. Send us a little tweet. That'll work too. And, we appreciate the subscribe clicks that you guys provide for us. And, your voting up or down is always acceptable, too. Just make sure you tell us, one way or the other. Hey, we liked it because of, or hey, your videos suck because of. We're okay with thumbs down. But, hey, if we can improve, we want to know why. So tell us. It's up to your feedback to help us better ourselves. Anyways, you know the drill. As always, until next time.